Everyone, welcome back to the channel. Share, subscribe, like this video. Make sure you put your prayer requests in the bottom. Hope everybody there's had a pleasant day. I've got on here later because I just haven't felt well. I guess for all the stuff we did last night, I've just not been able to get out of bed today. I'm hurting. Still coughing this junk up. But there's some important stuff coming out tonight. A lot of stuff going on. So we're going to keep you informed of everything that's going on around the world. And there's quite a bit. China did something uncharacteristic of them tonight. Basically, what they did tonight was showing that Trump does not intimidate them. And they're going to make a move. So all these things are coming about, just like we said. The war machine is on the move. I will tell you this. Before I laid down, I've been when I was monitoring what was going on over top of us, okay? Now, you know they're talking about peace and everything while Americans believe that everything's there in bliss. Tonight, the doomsday planes have been full blast, one of them going into Canada and doing loops. One off the Gulf Coast. So I got curious. I went into Flight Radar to see what else was going on. As I said, while everybody else is in stupid bliss, the military's on the move. What they're doing, I don't know, but they're on the move. They're getting ready to do something. I'm telling you right now as I'm sitting here because Flight Radar don't lie. We're seeing over 50 to 55 Black Hawk helicopters in the Northeast. This is not normal. Neither is, like I said, the air refuelers have not let down since the new president's been elected. They've just, literally, there's fighters everywhere. Not only is there fighters all over, but they're stringing them all the way down to Bermuda, all the way past Puerto Rico. They're everywhere. There's an intel balloon sitting off Florida's coast. We've never seen it there before. It's over the ocean. They're looking for those Russian subs. I don't know if any of you got a chance to monitor or watch that video I told you in the first video about the submarines when they attack. That's what we saw. I don't bring it up much because it horrifies most people. Because what makes it worse for me is because I know it's coming. And I know we're in the season that it comes. Many people's like, well, Chris, we don't see enough to think that the rapture's coming. You won't. When those missiles are launched from those nuclear submarines, any day now, and it's coming, you'll have a 5-minute warning. And ain't going to be no warning. Basically. That's why Jesus is going to pull us out. He knows it's coming. That's why he warned us about it. When America gets hit, it won't see it coming. I've said it over and over and over. That's why we've been so strict in the last 3 years here in America by getting these warnings out each and every day because we know they ain't going to have no time to prepare for it. Most Americans will die within the first 5 minutes of this attack when it happens. They won't see it coming. That's why Jesus pulls us before it happens. Now, if you go into all the data that our good friend Bob Barber has brought together for us, and even what Bob Barber has seen himself that God has given him, all these are indicators that this horrible day is upon us. Bible prophecy is already been let loose. It's like Pandora's box of Bible prophecy has already taken place, and it's not going to stop. The Lord's made sure that we know that he's not changed his mind. That means that the world coming to an end is still right on schedule. While everybody else is looking that if somebody's coming to save it, it's going to burn. People's like, oh, you're just doom and gloom. Well, that's what Bible prophecy said would take place. It didn't say that we'd all get together and sing Kumbaya. It doesn't say that. It says it will get worse and worse, and then it will be destroyed. Now, here's another part of Bible prophecy. Now, this is, like I said, you need to go into the Jewish culture and see what they're thinking because Bible prophecy tells us that. Jewish mystics hope Trump's Israel's visit might raise the third temple. Now, this is how they're thinking. They're thinking he's the Messiah. I'm telling you right now as I'm sitting here, they're calling him already the Messiah. Now, is he? Absolutely not. I'm talking about the Antichrist. I don't think so. But I think out of his ashes, it will come. People are going to say, well, what do you mean by that? I don't know if he survives the attack, but when this horrible day happens to America, when it comes, we don't know the date. But I don't know who starts it. Do we start it? Do we hit Russia? Does Russia hit us first? I don't know. That's the one thing we don't know, but we know it happens. And too many people have seen it. Too many. It's not a... I believe it's any moment. I really do. I can feel it. This attack is coming. This is a time between now and January 20th where all of our, pretty much, whatever they're going to do, this administration don't care if an attack happens. They just don't, because they can stay in the power, so they're not looking. T-Man's not in there yet. So this is a perfect time to let your guard down, just like I think everybody is. And our enemies know it. They know it. So they're looking for him to tell them that they're going to have their third temple back, because he already gave them Jerusalem back. He already moved the capital there so they could call it their capital. Now they're like, okay, he's back and he's going to give us our third temple back. There's a lot of stuff moving, and it's all Bible prophecy. That's why we're warning you that our time here is up. China has fired. Now listen to this. This happened tonight, believe it or not. There's quite a bit's happened tonight. China has fired an ICBM off the Pacific Ocean. You're going to think, well, that's not a big deal. It is a big deal. They don't do it. They sent a dummy nuclear missile into the ocean. China never does it. It was basically saying, we're not intimidated by the new president, and we will attack you. That's what they're saying. China has fired an intercontinental ballistic missile into the Pacific Ocean. Remember, Trump wants to put major tariffs on them if he gets in. With what we're seeing militarily moving across the country, I'm starting to wonder if that was ever the plan. We're going to get into some other stuff about that we got to be very careful with. The reason I'm on here tonight is because what I'm seeing is disturbing. Nothing to fear, but I see movement that people ain't going to see coming. So either you get it or you don't, but I'm going to bring it to you because it's hidden. And we're going to bring it out to the light because there is a lot of movement going on right now, and it's unsettling. I know this. Everything that they're telling you that everything's great, what I'm seeing doesn't add up to it. China says the launch was part of a routine training. But here's the thing. They never launch into the Pacific Ocean. Never. That's what North Korea does, not China. So the People's Liberation Army Rocket Force, which is in charge of the conventional and nuclear missile operations and was not aimed at any country or target. The ICBM carrying a dummy warhead landed in a designated area in the sea, the Defense Ministry said without specifying where exactly it went. And then they said something very disturbing. Think near Hawaii or U.S. West Coast. China rarely tests the ICBMs out of international waters. I can tell you right now they don't do it. With some experts tracing the last such deployment back in May 1980, when Beijing launched a DF-5 missile into the South Pacific. Usually the PLA test fires ballistic missiles in their own region in the Baja Sea. China seems to be sending a message, and I think the other ones are sending it too. Listen to me very clearly. I know the election went off without a hitch, but what I'm saying could probably get me in trouble. But these people, these elites, put a lot of money into Ukraine. They're not going to let that go. Okay? This is just between me and family members. They put a lot of money in there. They're not going to just let that go. They're not going to just let somebody come in. That's why it was too easy. The election was way too easy. They had a plan. They had a plan. Now, I don't know what that plan is, but I think you're all feeling what I'm bringing. When you put that kind of money and resources into a place, you're not just going to let it go. I think they'll do whatever it takes to keep that war going. And I think Russia knows that too. I think they know it. And I know China knows it. They know more than we know. And I think they're going to try to sever the head of the snake, which is, in their minds, us. And I think they've been planning it for a while between them, Iran, and North Korea. They're all in on it. This is what makes it so dangerous. They're all in on this attack that will happen to America. They've been planning it for a while to decapitate it. That is why we have information coming in from the southern border. One of those guys is a family member that lives down there on the border. And he is reporting that within the last 6 months, every person that's come across his property has all been Chinese, in the millions. Where are they at? What happened to them? They didn't vote in the election. All these people, the Democrats flew in mass. Where'd they go? They didn't vote. So what are they doing here? Do not be fooled. Whatever they're getting ready to do, I'm telling you, there's something here. None of it makes sense. You add that with the surveys that have been going on for the last 4 years, which was mapping a battlefield in America. Well, that battle didn't come. Why not? Why'd they do all that? Why'd they spend so much money? Because it hasn't happened yet. I think our enemies knows a lot more than we do. It's a lifetime from here to January the 20th. Okay? We're seeing a lot of things that don't add up still. And God's still warning us about this 9/11 event, which happens with U.S. and U.K. Could it be that they're going to sever those lines of communication, which would send the world into bankruptcy, including us? We've told you it was coming. I'm telling you, they got a plan. And the bad thing is you can't trust either party. They're both wanting to sever Israel. See, you can easily put yourself either on the red or the blue side. I don't, because this channel is all about Jesus. It's not about a political party, because the political parties are evil. They're not of God. Okay? I don't care how many evangelists they post here and there. Still doesn't make them a good party. Does not. They still are run by Lucifer. Bottom line. If you don't believe that, you're in denial. He runs all the parties in the world. All of them. That's why babies are being sacrificed in the millions around the world. Satan loves a good baby sacrifice. And they do that for him. You think abortions are just abortions? Why do you think they want abortions? They're blood sacrifices. That's what they are. Satan, you can go all the way back and trace all this stuff down to Baal that they would sacrifice these babies for. That's why abortions are on the rise, people. It's a ritual. Now, these mothers don't know that, but the governments do. They do absolutely know it. Listen, don't be fooled. We're surrounded by evil. It's on every corner. If you truly know how much evil is around us, you probably wouldn't come out from under your bed. But evil runs this country to the core. And if I'm right, they're not going to let go. Say the T-Man does want to do some good. I think they'll do whatever it takes to make sure that never comes to place. Could be wrong, but I don't think so, because God is still warning us that something is wrong. And I can see it through flight radar that something is wrong. We've got too many Poseidons looking for nuclear Russian subs. We're now parking these intelligence balloons off the west coast and the east coast. They're looking for subs 24/7. So the forces around the world are surrounding us. We know they're there because the sensors tell us when they come across. They didn't leave, so they're still there, because if they did, they wouldn't be parking intelligence balloons there. They're also looking for something on the west coast, close to Seattle in the south of North Dakota, Wyoming, They've been doing this for a while. We have spent a ton of money sending R-135s and Q-4 drones up that way, looking for something there. What's even more alarming, what sits in those areas? Nuclear silos. I still think it's ironic I bring this up because a lot of people don't want to talk about it. There's a couple of things that have never manifested. Number one, remember when that train carrying all of that, those chemicals, it all disappeared? I can't never remember what was in it. For some reason, my brain don't want to do it. But that whole train, just all that stuff is gone. That hasn't played out yet. Where did all that go? Where all that explosive go? But it ain't been used yet. Keep that in the back of your mind. It's going to come back somewhere. Number two, the Biden administration, as soon as they got in office, took a lot of good people that have been working the nuclear silos forever. They replaced them all with their own people. Why did they do that? Why replace people that's been there through many administrations and put your own people in there? I remember this happening. I said then, this is going to come back somewhere. So you take people that's worked inside those nuclear silos all these years, a lot of experience. Replace them all with your own people that have no background in it. I'm telling you people, stuff ain't adding up. It ain't adding up. And the more that God warns me, the more I dig. Because I don't like what I'm seeing. Now, there's a tropical cyclone in Hong Kong raises T3 typhoon signal. So now we've got a typhoon, we've got another hurricane forming in the Gulf. There'll be Hurricane Sarah. And they're saying it could possibly hit Florida within the next 7 days. People, that's unusual for this time of the year. Something is not right. So the birth pains are not quitting. They're increasing. Multiple earthquakes again in California this morning and last night. So the ground's still moving on the West Coast. Then another major volcano erupted tonight. And it sent everybody running for their lives. We've got over 40-some volcanoes around the world erupting. We've never seen anything like this. All right, let's see here. Let me look into this. This just came out. It is the Bali volcano. Looks like an angel forming huge Christian cross. It doesn't tell me where this thing was from. But it exploded tonight. Now also, the Abraham aircraft carrier strike group was hit. There was some damage. Now, they're saying the Abraham Lincoln took a hit. It wasn't the Abraham Lincoln. They don't know their aircraft carriers. This was one of the helicopter aircraft carriers that got hit. It says the U.S. Navy USS Abraham Lincoln CVN-72 aircraft carrier had been attacked with cruise missiles. Now, this was from Yemen. Yemen hit this group. But the carrier was not hit. It was an aircraft carrier. For I can't think of what they're called. They're shorter than the regular aircraft carriers, and they only carry helicopters or a F-35. It was hit. Now, it did not get sunk, but just knowing that they fired missiles into one of our strike groups and hit something is impressive. And it's a sign of war. So that is not going away. So they're sending another drone towards Yemen, which they've took out everyone we've sent there. Hezbollah is heading towards a very long war of attrition and is capable of doing so. This is coming from Israel media. World War III is highly likely to break out. They're saying in 2025. I'm here to tell you it happens a lot sooner because God's telling us it's going to happen a lot sooner. Everybody else is looking at 2025. They will probably never see 2025. In my opinion, I think whatever's going to hit is going to hit way before that. We're literally, I'm telling you, we're in a dangerous place right now. Not for us, we're going home. But the world itself, oh yeah, we're in a zone where everybody just has quit looking. And every prophecy that we've ever come across They talk about this time we're in right now. And that's when we get hit. Regarding alliances cases of the U.S. and Zionist launch strikes on Iran, do you think the enemies that have been preparing, and they have been preparing for the last 3 years, are going to let this guy come into office and tell them what to do? You've got another thing coming to you, because it ain't going to happen. And I don't think our government's going to let it happen either. I'm telling you, I look for something really crazy to go down soon. Health officials in Hawaii have detected the bird flu in wastewater, so we're seeing that all over the West Coast now in Hawaii also. In the last days, pestilences, earthquakes in diverse places. The signs are there. People don't want to see them. All right. Now, the deep state. This is something that was on our good friend Keegan Fernandez on Telegram. Always make sure you have him and Marty's 2-minute warning. They're going to keep you updated on everything that moves. The deep state plans to use, we've talked about this before, the 14th Amendment to disqualify Trump from invoking their January the 6th. Now, let's look into this. The 14th. I'm going to have to find it. Let me do this in the morning. I'm going to look that 14th Amendment up and I'm going to read it to you. Now, there's a lot of people saying that this is what they're going to try to invoke. And when he gets up for on January, they're going to say that January 6th, he tried to take over the nation and dethrone or try to do a coup d'etat or a coup and arrest him on sight. I do believe this is one of their plans that they're going to try to do too. See, Mike Wall, Trump's national security advisor, China, Russia, and Iran are not trying to compete with us. They're trying to replace us. It's the same rhetoric that the Bidens have been saying. Nothing's changed. Except you're in there with a guy. One thing about Trump, if he does decide to go to war, I'm telling you, he has dangerous language. And he could definitely set this off on fire if they even let him get in there. But I'm just saying, on both ways, this ain't looking good for the world. They think it is, but it's not. Because behind about closed doors, there's a lot of dealing going on. A lot of dealing, and people don't see it coming. Let's see what else Keegan has here. All right, Katz, taking out Iran's nuke program has never been more realistic because Trump's already told him to go do it. This is what brings Russia into this war with us. And I think Trump's already set it in motion. He has already set it in motion. He's emboldened Israel to go after Iran's nuclear program, which Russia has already said, if you do that, we're going to give Iran nuclear weapons. Do you see everything we've warned you about for the last 2.5 years? They're putting it into motion, including Trump's campaign. They're all doing it. But the Lord showed us, it doesn't matter who gets in, the same conclusion will come. Judgment upon the world, because we're at the end of the dispensation. That's why we're on here warning you, because what they're telling you and what we're seeing, they don't add up. There's too many things. Americans have about a 5-minute memory. There's too many things that's been going on since Biden got in that has not showed itself yet. They was preparing for this very moment, I promise you, since the day he got in office. And it hasn't happened yet. They let go of this way too easy. On the other hand, T-Man's group wants to do the same thing. They want a one world power. They want to literally divide Israel. Either way it goes, Satan is in charge, and he's going to get his war. That's what we're trying to tell you. You got to take out the political parties and get off of that, because people can't seem to get back away from it. They won't put Jesus over their parties, and that's a problem, and it's going to cause them a problem. Now, if you're saved, you're saved. You're still going home. But if you can step away from these parties and look at this with Jesus first, you start to see some things that don't add up. That is where I come in. I don't go with the parties anymore. God got me away from it. I can sit back, put Jesus first, and I can see the bad in both parties. They're both got the same goals. They're the same. They're a little bit different when it comes to this country, but the outcome of where they want to go with the world order are the same. And they both want to divide Israel down the middle. You don't get no better either way it goes. Either way, America will be destroyed. But what I'm telling you is I do believe this sneak attack is upon us. I do believe. I believe our military knows that. That's why they're looking for it. Now, when this does happen, it still happens. There's no stopping it. Only thing I can tell you is get on the ark before this day happens, because that's the day the rapture will probably take place. Because we got to be gone, because it's a severe attack. It's severe. When this Pandora's box is opened, and it is, it's going to catch the world on fire. Including the Middle East and everywhere. Right now, we're looking for North Korea and South Korea to get into a fight at any moment. This man is not coming to stop that. He's actually going to put fire on the flame. Either way it goes, Lucifer will have his war. And it's coming any moment. And we're going home. So get people on that ark. Please don't let your guard down. I'm telling you, I watch the emergency action messages. I watch what's going over there. Everything that they're telling you that everything's great now and everything is not what I'm seeing. The double dealings going on behind your back is off the charts. These people are on the move. Do not take your eyes off of them, because they're planning something really bad. That's why God started warning us years ago, all the way back to 2020, that these people they already made up their mind. Whatever they're going to do, God's told us constantly, they've already made up their mind. He tried to talk them out of it. They wouldn't hear it. They're still going to go through with this horrible day that's planned. I don't know what that is, and I don't want to know, and thank God we're not going to be here to see it. But I can try to get as many people on that ark as possible before then. I don't know how easy that's going to be now that everybody thinks that their Messiah, Trump, has come here to save them. Because many people right now, you can't talk to these people. They really believe this guy's going to change the world in 2 seconds. It's the biggest lie I've ever been told. Even as a Trump supporter, I know that's stupid. He's one man. And still yet, this country is controlled by the elites. And he knows that. He knows he ain't going to accomplish anything. But he talks a good game, like all of them does. And they'll make you believe everything. Lucifer will lie to you and convince you that everything's great when it's not. That's why the Lord took his time to literally wake us all up so we could be here screaming and say, no, don't go that way. That's not coming for you. What is coming for you is the rapture of the church. Trust the gospel. 1 Corinthians 15, 1-4. Jesus died on the cross for our sins, past, present, and future. He died, was buried, rose again on the third day according to the scriptures. Trust in Jesus and Jesus alone. Always have everything confirmed through him. Listen, I don't have to do this every single day, but I know how close we are to some kind of destruction coming upon this earth. Many people ain't going to listen to me now. I know that. But I'm still going to try to get on here each and every day to try to grab as many as we can. Because I know what's coming. I know I don't believe the lie, and I'm not falling for it. God's warned me against it. The destruction of America and the world is still on schedule. And we're going to leave very soon. Get people on that ark. Listen to me very clearly. Do not be fooled. We are leaving. If these people want to put politics first, they'll go down with the ship if they're not saved. Get people on that ark before it's too late. If I don't see or hear from you again, I'll see you in heaven. Thank you once again for tuning in to Global Rapture Watchers, where we do daily updates here on YouTube, letting you know that we're one day closer to our Lord and Savior coming back. Thank you for all the support for this channel. This channel was created for God's sheep, those that are waiting for their Lord and Savior to come back and get us in these last days. We do updates once to 2 times a day here on YouTube. Thank you for all your support for the channel. God bless each and every one of you.